99.5 Ucluelet Radio.
All right, welcome back, West Coast. You are listening to Long Beach Radio, CHMZ FM 90.1 in Tofino, CIMM FM 99.5 in Ucluelet. And we got a special guest in the studio. Tim Deegan is in town filming a television series called Rugged. And, well, thanks for coming out, man, first of all.
Thanks for having me, yeah.
I'm glad that you could make it in. Sometimes you big-time media people don't love us little small-town radio, so
No,
I was
love
really touched when you guys called up and said you wanted to come and say hi. So
Well, it's awesome. I'm digging the studio.
sweet. How was the trip out here? We were just talking about how grueling some of the traveling can be filming. How did you like your roll out to the West Coast?
This one was interesting. The drive from from the ferry to here was the winding roads and stuff, and I'm in the very, very back of this big SUV, and I got the laptop on my lap. I'm trying to do a little bit of editing, and we got maybe halfway, and we had to pull over because I was going to be sick.
Yeah,
so.
you don't text in the back seat, or don't type in the back seat.
Yeah, and I had McDonald's before we even got in the car, so it was a bad combination.
See, I'm inclined to blame the McDonald's and not the road, but that's just who I am.
It was just a bad situation. So, anyways. After a few minutes in the bush, good to go.
All is good. Well, that's cool. So what you're out here to do, the series is called Rugged, and this is going to be the first season, October?
Yes, it's going to be airing sometime in October.
All right, network, any of that other information?
Yeah, it'll be on Rogers Sportsnet.
Yep.
And if you are French and you want to watch it in French, you can watch it on RDS.
With a pretty girl host on the
Yes.
French version, I
Yes.
understand. Yeah, I was reading that.
So,
I might be
guys.
I might be
Sorry,
watching the
English-speaking
French
community.
version. So, just from a production sense, you have the French Canadian host, and you have yourself.
Yeah.
Is she out here as well filming, or is it a different things that they're going to be shooting for the French series?
She's out here filming as well. We basically do the same stuff, and the footage is all going to be the same. It's just so that we have a French version, an English version, and so that way you don't have to have subtitles or voiceovers.
Some
and
bad
stuff.
overdub.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys doing out here? I assumed surfing first thing, and we've kind of established that that's a big part of what you're doing, what you're going to be filming.
Yeah, we're going to be out here surfing. I just found out this morning that I'm actually going to be trying it, which is going to be kind of cold.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be cool. I've never surfed before in my life, and what better place to do it than home soil, Canada. Right?
You're pretty hardcore if you surf in Canada, even if you surf poorly in Canada.
Yeah?
In the
Right.
well, because I mean it's colder. The waves aren't quite as consistent as some of the typical places. So yeah, you get a little bit of street cred if you're going to dip into Arctic water effectively to go surfing.
So even if I just paddle on this thing around, I kind of get a little.
You're
more
pretty much not going to stand up. That's the reality of your first time out surfing.
At least I know what's going to happen going into it. Then.
Yeah, you're going to paddle out there. You're going to get your butt kicked by the ocean, but
Okay.
it is a lot of fun. And you're going out with Breweiler Surf School potentially.
I believe that's what we're doing.
All right, so you got the big. He's got a great Mercedes old Army surplus truck that'll make for some good footage.
Cool.
Too on the way out. But so this actually kind of brings us. You said this is your first time surfing.
Yeah.
What is your rugged cred? How did you end up with this gig, being the host of this sort of an extreme sports television show?
Well, when I was at Much Music, I actually I hosted an extreme sports show there as well. It was called Much Adrenaline, and that's actually when I met the producer of this show years ago. But I was doing that show, but also not only that, but I grew up mountain biking, I grew up snowboarding, I grew up wakeboarding, and then pretty much any other sport that was offered to me, I would try. Mm-hmm. So at least I've tried other sports, and so I mean I don't know if that gives me credibility, but I mean at least it gives me some familiarity with is familiarity a word?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And I think you even used it in the proper context.
Okay, good. So it's early.
Yeah. So I had somewhere to go on that. The adrenaline thing and the you. I also noticed, and this might have something to do with physical thing, when I was stalking you on the internet a little bit before this. Also, an aspiring firefighter at one point. So that's kind of got that adrenaline, athletic kind of interest thing going on too.
Yeah, it's funny. I went to school for firefighting, and then I randomly wound up in television. So.
I didn't go to school and randomly wound up in radio.
There you go, yeah.
But it happened.
Stay in school, kids.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But you've done a couple of other things on your way out to the surfing. We were talking about skydiving. What was the most thrilling experience so far? Because obviously the most thrilling experience by the end of this will be surfing. Mm-hmm. But so far in the series, what's the big episode you're looking forward to seeing put on the air?
That's tough. Okay, I'm trying to think of the things that we've done. We went whitewater kayaking, which is pretty cool. And so we've got footage of us actually in the kayaks going down some rapids, which will be pretty neat. I'm a horrible ice skater. Like I said, I grew up snowboarding. That was my winter sport. hockey and skating was not mine.
Yeah.
And so when we went to Crashed Ice in Quebec,
Oh yeah.
I was talking a really big game, and I was up there saying I'm gonna win, and I'm just like, you better be racing out of the gates because I'm just gonna blow past you, and then you see me just kind of ankle biting the whole way and slipping and sliding, and that's gonna be pretty interesting to watch on TV.
You couldn't get me on one of those Crashed Ice courses for $1 million.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. For $1 million, I'd definitely do it again. But I mean, I hurt myself, wiped out. But it's what those guys do on that course is unbelievable.
Yeah, that'll make for some fun television. Speaking of fun television, as a one-time Much Music VJ, you've interviewed such incredibly interesting people as Justin Bieber and Kesha.
Right.
I don't know how. I don't even really know how to ask the question, but like from a music, when you're interviewing someone like that, is it like do you really ask them about the music, or are you just asking them fluffy stuff about what's your favorite color?
Kind of both. I played a game with Kesha, and it was kind of like we played it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on radio. The word.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Okay, I just had to double check that. So basically, we played a game with Kesha because she has that one song saying about woke up feeling like P Diddy or whatever.
Yeah.
So we showed her pictures of like stars that are like obviously looking like they're having a rough night.
Yeah.
And we asked her whether they're gonna wake up feeling like Diddy or feeling like shitty.
Yeah.
And so like we do stuff like that to kind of make it interesting and fill the fill it in a bit because some stars, they have writers that write their music for them and they just sing, and and that's they're an artist in their own way, right?
Yeah.
But it's harder to ask them like, what did you mean when you were
yeah.
writing about
it's
this?
Not like Paul McCartney.
You can't ask them lyrical questions and say like, where were you going when you said this and stuff like that. So, and Bieber, I mean. He was actually a really nice guy when we hung out, and we hung out for a whole day for one of the shows we did. And he was really nice, really easygoing guy, and he likes McDonald's too. But yeah, it's the thing you do the thing you do with Justin Bieber is basically sit there and try and hear what he's saying
over the screaming girls,
and try and get him to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So basically, you can't get much of an interview. It's just a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling, and a lot of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what's going on.
Yeah, I have that problem a lot too. All the screaming girls.
I was pretending that half of the audience was there for me and half was there for him, but. Yeah.
All right. Before we get back to what we're actually here to talk about,
Sure.
me and my afternoon host Carrie Ann have now 2 ongoing battles.
Okay.
Who's better, the
Right.
Beatles or the Stones?
Okay.
And who's worse, Kesha or Justin Bieber?
Oh,
So
it's funny that I've interviewed them both.
yeah. So can you enlighten us on either or both of those things before we go back to talking about rugged?
Okay. The Beatles or the Stones? Let's start there. The Beatles or the Stones? The Beatles have done so much and have accomplished so much, but I personally think that I like the music that the Stones put out.
Oh, Carrie Ann's jumping up and down on her fishing boat right now. She's the Stones girl. I'm the Beatles guy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't argue with the Beatles from what they accomplished, right? It's like I have this argument with my buddies all the time, except it's like Blink-182 versus the Beatles.
Yeah. Wow.
I know. which is no comparison because they're 2 completely different topics, but it's just because
what you like.
I love
what you like.
Blink-182, and one of my buddies loves the Beatles. So we have this argument, and if most people heard that argument, they'd probably say Beatles, and I'd lose all credibility. But it's just, you can't argue with the Beatles. You really can't.
Okay. Okay, you don't have to defend yourself to me. Now, the harder question.
No. Okay, the harder question. This one. This is like stops time right here. Who's worse, Justin Bieber or Kesha?
And it doesn't have to. It can just be like, like you said, who you like more, or who was a better interview. I just need something, because that's part of what we do here.
Okay. I'm going to say, well, there's the whole thing that Justin Bieber is a guy and Kesha is a girl. So I'm going to go with I like Kesha more.
All right. That's a safe way to maybe be able to go work at Much Music again.
Yeah, what if I
after
come
this
across
interview.
them again, right?
All right. Well, Rugged, you're filming this weekend. The show starts in October.
Yep.
Do you have any idea roughly when our episode might run? I guess you probably don't have the run date sorted out for the season yet.
I'm not positive, but the thing is, we have a whole Facebook page going on where we're posting videos and we're chatting with everybody and just updating everyone on what's going on. And also, the show's sponsored by BF Goodrich, so they're helping us out, in so many different ways. So if you guys go online to facebook.com/BF Goodrich Canada, we got lots of updates on there, and we're going to be continuing to talk about the show until the show airs, so we can kind of do a little bit more updating on, hey, this episode is going to air on this day, so we can do that.
Keep
stuff.
an eye out for that.
Yeah, so if anyone's interested.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it has been fun having you in. Good luck filming the show, and I hope you get all the shots you need and enjoy your time out here and get safe back to wherever you're going. Where are you going next? What's the next adventure?
Next, we are down to L.A., and I don't know exactly we're doing. We are maybe doing some more surf down there.
Oh, okay. Going to Santa Cruz or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not positive because we're going to get a lot of stuff this weekend here. But I think we're also doing a CrossFit competition.
Okay.
Which I've never seen before, and I don't know much about. So that's why I'm kind of unsure about what we're doing right now. So,
but you're going to California.
We're going to LA. That's
it's going to be sunny.
Yeah,
that's
all I heard was LA, and I kind of tuned out. So.
All right. Well, Tim Deegan, host of Rugged, one of two hosts of Rugged, the English host of Rugged, which will be starting on the air in October, filming out here on the West Coast this weekend with, we kind of think it's Raf Breweiler. But, thanks for coming in, man.
Cool, thanks a lot for having me.
And we're going to play some Blink-182 for you.
Yes.
How's that? It's no Beatles, but it'll do.